Hey, welcome to another one of my videos. So we're doing another community lot challenge video. In these, what we do is we randomize a community lot. So this time it's going to be a library, which is great. I personally love libraries. And then it's going to be in the style of modern. So this one, I don't think that this one was as much of a challenge as the first one, because at least this one has one of those selector style things. You know what I'm talking about. You'll see it in a second. I'll point it out. Whereas the first one was synthwave, so like that was all just based off of what I think synthwave is. But yeah, I really liked this one, not just because it's a library, but because it was fun. Right now I'm trying to do like a fountain. It does not let you do fountains on platform, which I find funny. I feel like they should give us a little bit more liberty in how we can do builds. Like, what is the reason why we can't do that? I don't know. But yeah, so what I end up doing is I just use the water tool. I didn't try the pool tool though. I feel like the pool tool might have worked. But yeah, the fountain tool just was not working. So I just fill it with water here. And then I put a tile under it, or I put concrete under it. And it ends up looking fine. I like the look of it. I didn't end up doing anything as far as like fountains or anything in there. I didn't think it needed it. I ended up putting a lot of trees and things in here as well to break it up. But yeah, I was just trying to do a little bit more nature in this. I feel like modern really is about incorporating the environment into the build, and so that's what I was trying to do with this. Here I am trying to find like a flooring that is modern. But yeah, personally, I really love libraries. I grew up going to the library as much as possible. When I was in school, I used to spend a lot of my lunches in the library. It's always been a really like nice, calm environment. Librarians are almost always my favorite people. There's something about people dedicating their life to the community and to reading. But yeah, I also really like the shape of this build. Yeah. Anyways, speaking of libraries, I'm currently reading two different kinds of books. So I'm reading a book by Karen Slaughter. She's the one that wrote the Will Trent series. There is a TV adaptation. I think it's on TNT? Not exactly sure about that. I haven't seen that. I don't typically like TV adaptations of books, so I don't know if I'm going to watch it. If any of you are watching it, let me know if you like it or if it's even worth it. The books are really good. I'm biased though. I'm like really into true crime. Obviously it's not true crime, it's fictional crime. But the way she writes it is just like chef's kiss. It's so good. There's a lot of drama in there too, but it does have a lot to do with their personal lives, but it also has a lot to do with different types of crime. Oh, I really like these windows because it looks like open books. I thought it was really like a cute touch. But yes, so I'm reading that, and then I'm also reading Game of Thrones. I've never read it. But I really liked the show up until the last season, and I heard that the books end differently, which got me interested in the books because, oh my gosh, the end of Game of Thrones. I know everybody says it, you know, it's very common that people don't like the end of it, but can we talk about it? Maybe we can't talk about it. No, you know what? It's been out for so long that they made like another show on HBO about it. So I think we can talk about it. Why did they do that to Arya? I'm just wondering, because throughout the whole series, she's a kid, right? And then suddenly she doesn't want to be a kid anymore, which I get, okay, but she still looks like a kid. It just was so uncomfortable and forced, in my opinion. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Like, that was uncomfortable. And then the ending was weird and rushed, and it didn't make any sense, and it was very unsatisfying. There were some parts, I haven't seen the last season in so long, and since it came out, what was that, 2017 or so? I haven't seen it since it came out, but I feel like I liked before the end fight scene when all of them were singing, and is that when, not Sharon Tate, what's his name? That guy that everyone loved in like 2015, and I'm sure people still love him now. He's got red hair. You're screaming at me right now, I just know it. Anyways, that guy was in it. Was he in that one though, or was he earlier? I think he was way earlier. Ooh, it's gonna bother me. I don't remember his name. But anyways, I think I liked that scene. There were some good scenes still, but they just did everyone so dirty. I don't get it. Why did they do that to everybody? And I feel like I remember something about Jon Snow that I didn't like in the last season too. Something about it was just like not characteristic. Uncharacteristic. Anyways, yeah, so I'm reading the first book right now. It is taking me a while because I'm still reading the Will Trent book. I'm on the last one. She hasn't stopped it yet. I don't know when she's going to stop it, but there's another book coming out, I think in June. Later this year, she's going to have another book coming out, and I'm really excited about it. I was hoping she would do a book tour. I haven't been to a book tour in a really long time. I only went to one, and actually, I don't know if it counts, but they used to have authors come to my elementary school, and one of my favorite authors came in. What did he write? Red Dog, something like that, and that was my favorite book at the time. And he came, and we were allowed to ask questions, but he didn't call on me, so I didn't get to ask my question. I still remember that. That was like, I think it was 4th grade for me, so that was a really long time ago. And then I also went to Michelle Obama, if you can call it a book tour. I went to her book tour, and it was interesting. I don't know. It was weird because Jimmy Kimmel was there. I don't know. It felt kind of like a fever dream. Like, why was Jimmy Kimmel interviewing her? And then obviously she's doing the same interview at every location she went to. So it was rehearsed. It was weird. It wasn't like normal. Like, I thought it was going to be like a Q&A kind of thing, but it was not. But yeah, I went to that. That was a long time ago. That was like 2017, 2018 or so. So that was pre-COVID. But yeah, I haven't been to a book tour, a proper book tour ever. So I was hoping that she would do a book tour. It doesn't look like it. I'm not like a super fan, but she did get me back into reading. I was trying with like, Book Talk. I don't use TikTok, but I do know some of the books that people are recommending. And so I tried Colleen Hoover, and I just like could not get into it. Like, it's just not my cup of tea. I actually don't know anybody. None of my friends are into her either, so I don't really know who it's written for. But I wanted to like it because I felt like I had so many recommendations, but they were all on the internet. So maybe it was all advertising and I fell for it. I don't know, but I bought one of the books. It Ends With Us. And I think I thought it was going to be kind of like, there was this other author that I really liked, and she wrote The Pact, which at the time I really liked, but I was 14, and the concept now that I look back at it is very inappropriate. I don't know. I remember really liking it though, And I read a couple other books that she wrote, and I really liked them too. I don't remember her name. But yeah, I read The Pact. Why am I bringing that up? I don't know where that was going, but I read that a really long time ago, and I remember liking. Oh, because I thought that Colleen Hoover's books were going to be like that, but I don't. Colleen Hoover writes like, in my opinion, it reminded me of when I used to be really into Wattpad when I was like 14, 15, maybe even 13. But Wattpad used to be really awesome because you would read these very good books, like published worthy books, in my opinion at the time. But then sometimes you would read a book and you're like, wow, I didn't need to read that. Like, that's gonna be in my head, and I didn't, like, did I consent to that? I don't know. Wattpad was amazing. Is Wattpad still around? I haven't even looked into it since I was early teenager. Anyways, yes, so I'm reading those books, but I have a lot of other recommendations that I've been recommended by family and friends. I bought a book that my grandpa really loves, and it's like a Western, but I haven't finished that one either. Most of my books are just sitting on a shelf, like half finished. Oh, like, okay, here's a really good one that I haven't finished. Imaginary Friend by, is it Stephen Chbosky? He did that one book, Wallflower, Perks of Being a Wallflower. He wrote that, but it's a horror book. The Imaginary Friends is a horror book, and it's about this little boy who, he has to keep running away, or his mom has to keep relocating him because his dad was abusive. And then, I'm misremembering. So his dad passed away, okay? This is not a spoiler because this happened, it didn't even happen in the book. Like, it starts out that way. His dad has already passed away, and then his mom relocates them to a new city, and they start out in a motel, and then the clouds are talking to him, and there's like a monster. I don't know, there's a lot going on. As much as I love that book, for some reason I keep putting it down, and I highly recommend reading it. It's really good, and it's well written, and I think since Stephen King, I've always really liked horror books that center around a child, because especially if they're written really well, like Stephen King writes children so well, and so does Stephen Chbosky. I know I'm not pronouncing that right, just by the way, you don't have to correct me. So does Stephen Chbosky, though. Like, the way that he writes these kids, it feels reminiscent of childhood. Like, it's just really good and wholesome at times. Most times it's very wholesome. And it follows multiple characters, and that one's really good. What else have I read recently that I really liked? Oh, I tried to read, what's that one horror book that everyone was recommending? And it's about the hallways that keep moving. Like, they find out that there's too much space in the house based off of the dimensions of the exterior. And so they keep looking into it, and then I'm at the point now, what is it? Something leaves. Something leaves. It's supposed to be really trippy. But my problem with it is that it follows two different people completely. It follows the real story, and then it also has this guy who is learning about the story. But I don't know. That's another one that I keep putting down. House of Leaves. I keep putting that one down because it's too much. And then when I was trying to just read about the actual story, it's not hard to follow. It's really not hard to follow, and it's very interesting. But something about it, I just keep putting it down. I think it's a me thing. But yeah, so House of Leaves is another book that I have with a bookmark in it. kind of a bummer. Like, I really need to focus on finishing books. And I think that's why the Karen Slaughter books are really good right now for me, because I actually finish them in a really good, timely manner. Because I used to be the kid, and it's very common when you're a kid, but I used to be the kid that could read a book in a weekend. Like, I remember when I was really into Twilight, and I would read one book per weekend, and I finished it pretty quickly, but that's because all I did was read. Like, I was just locked in my room reading for an entire weekend until I finished it, and then I would do school for 5 days, and then I would pick up the next book, and it was just a different time for me. But now I have so many responsibilities that it's hard to focus on a book when you also need to focus on housework, and then also actual work and personal relationships, and making sure that you are doing other things that you enjoy and that are good for you and your soul. And I don't know, it's hard being a grown-up. I think if one thing I miss about my childhood is being able to just sit down and finish a book, because there was literally nothing else going on. I didn't even have to worry about feeding myself. Someone else was going to tell me that I needed to eat dinner. Like, it's a luxury you forget to appreciate, or you don't know to appreciate until you're an adult and you can't finish a book. But yeah, so those are some really good books that I've been reading recently. If you have any book recommendations, especially fantasy or horror, please let me know. Whatever you're obsessed with right now. Easy reads, hard reads, whatever. I really want to finish Game of Thrones. That's gonna be my challenge for myself, is to finish Game of Thrones. But yeah, so if you're looking for a book to read and you like true crime, I highly recommend reading the Will Trent series by Karen Slaughter. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. But yeah, they're really good reads. They're really good. Easy. I feel like those ones, they are weekend reads for me too. Like, I can finish those books within a weekend and then be excited for next weekend to read the next one. Because they're just page turners. Like, not only is there personal drama going on, they're also obviously doing investigations. Each book is completely different. They did a cult, they did a serial killer, they did, what else? Basketball players. Like, it was really a lot, but I really enjoy those books. I'm excited for the next one. I hope she doesn't stop making them. But she also has different series as well that I haven't gotten into yet, like the Sarah series. It's not called that because I think it follows her husband. What's his name? I don't know. I do know, but I'm not gonna waste my energy thinking about it. You only have so much energy in your life. Actually, though, you only have so much energy and so many days in your life. Gotta enjoy them. So yeah, that's what I'm reading. Not really watching anything recently either. I've been watching a lot of nature documentaries. I really like. They're just so relaxing and you learn so much. You really do. I love watching about birds and fish. Those are my favorite topics. Oh, anyways, back to the build. Have I even said anything about the build? I think I've been on a tangent since the fountain. Anyways, yeah, so it's a modern build, as you can see. I had a lot of fun with it. I wanted to make it like semi-realistic to what a library might look like if you were like overly funded, or somebody like like a millionaire, billionaire. What's that one? Okay. Another side tangent. 2 things that are always on my mind. The Kim Kardashian audio clip, or no, it's not an audio clip, it's a video of her walking, and she's like, I'm Kim Kardashian. I'm a mother, a lawyer, a millionaire, and a billionaire. That's always on my mind. Another one is that one guy, and he's like, don't ask me how I did it, I just did it. It was hard. I say that at work all the time. But yeah, anyways. I would love to have a bookcase like this in my house. I feel like with the amount of books that I have to put in boxes and hide, I could fill up a library like that. My problem though is that, again, I have so many books with bookmarks in them. I have a problem finishing it. Does anybody ever think about that one Jimmy Neutron episode? This scarred me for life because it's me. There's a Jimmy Neutron episode where like there's a villain, I guess. I don't really remember the premise of it, but there's this guy and they're trying to figure out who the villain is. And then there's like a cut scene or something. I don't know, but it's about, they're like, the guy who only finishes halfway or something, and then it like pans to a half-eaten donut and like half-done things, basically. And I'm like, dang, still to this day I think about it because I am that guy. Like I don't finish things. Anyways, I do these new birthday resolutions, and I had my birthday in March, and my resolution is to start finishing things, seeing things through, because it is not fun constantly reminding myself like, oh yeah, remember when I did cross stitching? And then I look over, like literally you can pan over to the cross stitching I've done and it's half done. Like maybe 2 things are done and then there's a half finished project and I put it down and there's dust on it. And that's with like so many things in my life. I want to be different. I want to be different. So that's my new birthday resolution. I highly encourage everybody to have birthday resolutions because I feel like New Year's resolutions, it's not very personal, but your birthday is about you, and next birthday you're going to be thinking about you and what you did within the last year, and I want you to feel like you did something. Well, I want me to feel like I did something, but I also want you to feel like you did something. So do something. Be about it. Don't just talk about it. Be about it. That's my birthday resolution. So many things going on this year too. I think another resolution I should have made, and I could make right now because life is ever changing, is I need to do more. Do more, see more, be more. No, I'm just kidding. I don't need to be more. But yeah, we're almost done with this build. Oh, I was gonna say, if you like walkthroughs at the end of the video, please let me know, because I don't know, like when I try to do the walkthrough, it's so jumpy and like I don't want to make someone dizzy, so I stopped doing them. I did do like a photo one, I think the last build I did, and if that was good for you, I could do those again, but you're watching me build it. So do you need a walkthrough? Do you feel like you need it for closure reasons? Like, what did this look like all put together? I promise you it looks like this. Oh, the ceiling tiles, can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? It doesn't work. Like 90% of the time for me, it does not work. I think that's another reason I didn't do the walkthrough, because I was like, you know what? F this. It is not working out. And that's that. That whole thing is done. I really liked this one. Please like and subscribe. Please come back. I'm going to do more of this challenge. And I have another couple things that I would like to do in the future. And if you'd like to see it, it would be easier for you to subscribe so you can keep track of that. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. I'll see you